Howdy there, YouTubers. Okay, my last video, I was talking about these bearish wicks here with the pin bar here. In that video, I warned, I think, 3 times that the big players, Mr. Composite Man, the big hedge funds, they use these candlestick patterns to try to trap people that use them. And I warned about this next one pumping up $3,000-$4,000, and look at that, boom! I bounced directly off 44,000. There's some kind of really strong support at about 44,000 right there. I'm not sure why, but it's the last 8 days, 9 days. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last 8 days, 5 times it's bounced directly off there. So there's something there for whatever reason. I can't look back to past data and see anything whatsoever. It's just blasted through it. There's, I guess, a kind of maybe a bounce here, February 28th. But and then at about 48,000, let's just draw in at 48,360. Sites are a little different. There's kind of a real strong resistance right there. Keep in mind, this is just my analysis. It doesn't mean I'm right, but one thing's for sure, Bitcoin is not going to stay in this holding pattern forever. This is the daily chart. These are daily candles. 3 times it's been rejected from 48,300, give or take. 5 times it's bounced off 44,000, give or take. They both look like they're pretty strong. 2 hours 47 minutes until this candle closes. Now I won't get this published for like an hour, so it'll be like an hour and a half by the time I get this published, give or take. This one will be closing 7 p.m. Central Time. What I'm personally watching is to see if this turns into another giant big wick on top, right? The last 3 days had these big bearish wicks. So in my last video, I said a few times, watch out, it's probably lots of times this is a trap. And then I said it could pump $3,000 or $4,000 and then dump. There's definitely an interesting range here between these yellow lines. Bitcoin's not going to stay in there forever. In my opinion, what would be more likely to break? I think it would be more likely to break support. Just because it's easier for people to take profits than it is for a bunch of people to start investing above 48,000, right? This lavender line coming in here is the 200-day moving average. It's just Bitcoin's absolutely oblivious to it. It's just blasting through it, blasting down through it, blasting up through it, blasting down through it, blasting up through it. It's like it's not even there. So why are we even looking at it at this point? Let's just get it off the screen. I have a hunch this big green candle is going to turn into a big long wick on top. And I have a hunch there's a dump coming before the close. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Don't put money on this. This is just my little analysis I'd like to throw out there. In my last video, I know people lots of times just like to hear only what they want to hear. So I was saying this dump could get nasty because of these bearish wicks. But I said 3 times in that video, watch out for a pump. It could be a trap. It could go up, could pump up here and then dump is what I was saying. So there is a very strong support at 44,000. It's kind of got me grasping for straws. Why? Maybe for some reason there's bots that are just doing that, but it's interesting. I want to see if that 44,000 holds. Nothing real super exciting to report. I'm watching these yellow lines. Which one breaks? Watching for this big, juicy green daily candle here to dump and produce a big long wick on top is what I think is going to happen. I could be totally wrong, but this is a rather interesting range if this were to continue for a while longer. If someone were, let's say, playing this range selling at 48,000 and buying at 44. They would have been doing good. Now I don't know if that trend will continue or not, but it's got to come out of there at some point. It's not going to stay in there forever. In a recent video, I was talking about how there appears to be kind of two layers this market cycle so far. I'll just use these yellow lines as the graphic. They're in a pretty good place. Below 44,000 is one layer. Above 48,000, give or take, is kind of another layer. See how that's working? It's kind of like a two-layer cake. Is Bitcoin going to have enough oomph? Are there enough investors in there for it to come up here, retest, and then be on its merry way, right? And get into the top layer? 3 daily candles have tested the top layer. It's been rejected. 5 daily candles have tested the bottom layer, 44,000, and it's bounced off of it. So is it going to do this? You know, I don't know what these lines will look like exactly. Maybe it come up and do this and something like that. But you know what I'm saying, right? Are we looking at a top layer cake or is it a bottom layer cake? That's my question. I have no idea. I lean towards the bottom, but there is a very odd support at 44,000, kind of just out of the blue. The problem with me saying Bitcoin is going to go pump up to all-time new highs or 60,000 is it takes a lot of money, right? I mean, you're talking about $400 billion to get up to where we were at 64,000 or so. $400 billion is a lot of money, right? That's a ton of money. The main problem I have with Bitcoin coming up here and being a top layer cake at this specific moment in time is just the fact that there's probably people that itching to take profits up in this area, 48 to 51,000, 52,000. There'll probably be a lot of profit taking going on there from traders. So I just think naturally maybe the least resistance would be to come down. The first hour and a half or so after this video is published on YouTube, I'm looking for our good friend Daily Candle here, this big green guy, to see if we get a big giant bear wick on top again. That's what I'm looking for at the moment. Hope you enjoyed this. As always, thanks for watching.